The rain fell in sheets across the alien forest of Cathara 7, each droplet hissing as it struck the bioluminescent fungal growths that carpeted the ground. Leia crouched beneath the twisted canopy, her thermal scanner flickering weakly in her hand. The expedition had gone wrong 3 hours ago when the storm rolled in faster than their atmospheric models predicted. Now she was alone, separated from her team, with nothing but her survival pack and the growing certainty that she would die on this forsaken moon. That's when she heard it, a sound that cut through the drumming rain like a blade. A cry, high-pitched, desperate, and unmistakably young. Leia's hand went to her plasma pistol instinctively. Every briefing about Cathara 7 had emphasized one thing: the apex predators. The Kethvara, as the colonists called them. 3-meter-tall killing machines with 6 eyes, retractable claws, and a hunting intelligence that rivaled Earth's extinct dire wolves. The colony had lost 17 people to them in the first year alone. But that sound? That wasn't an adult. Against every survival instinct screaming in her mind, Leia moved toward the noise. She pushed through the undergrowth, her boots squelching in the mud until she found it. The cub was small, barely the size of a large dog, its midnight blue fur matted and soaked. It lay in a shallow depression, one of its hind legs twisted at an unnatural angle, 6 golden eyes fixed on her with a mixture of fear and defiance. It hissed weakly, baring needle-sharp teeth. Leia should have walked away. Should have run. Where there was a cub, there would be a mother. And a mother Kethvara protecting her young, that was a death sentence with teeth. But the cub cried again, and something in that sound bypassed every rational thought in Leia's brain. "Okay," she whispered, more to herself than the creature. "Okay, I'm insane. That's established." She couldn't move the cub, its leg was definitely broken, and any attempt to touch it would likely result in her losing a hand. But the rain was getting worse and the temperature was dropping. On Earth, hypothermia killed. She had no idea what it would do to a Kethvara cub, but the way it was shivering suggested nothing good. Leia looked down at her jacket. Standard issue, thermal-lined, water-resistant. It was the only thing keeping her from hypothermia herself. Without it, she'd be gambling with her own life. The cub whimpered. "Damn it," Leia muttered. She stripped off her jacket, feeling the cold immediately bite into her skin through her thin undershirt. Moving slowly, telegraphing every motion, she approached the cub. It hissed again, trying to drag itself away, but the broken leg made it impossible. I know, Leia said softly. "I'm a monster. A hairless, weird-smelling monster. But I'm a monster who's trying to help, okay?" She stretched out her jacket like a tent, using fallen branches to prop it up over the cub, creating a small shelter. The creature watched her with those alien eyes, its hissing gradually subsiding into confused silence. When she finished, Leia retreated a few meters and sat down against a tree trunk. The rain pounded against her, soaking through her clothes in minutes. She was shaking within 10 minutes, her teeth chattering uncontrollably within 20. The night stretched ahead like an eternity. Hours passed. Leia drifted in and out of consciousness, her body temperature dropping dangerously low. In her delirium, she thought about her brother Morpheus back on Earth. He'd told her not to take the colony assignment. "You're too soft," he'd said with that knowing smile. "You'll try to save something that'll kill you." He'd been right, apparently. Through the haze of cold and exhaustion, Leia heard movement. Her eyes snapped open, or tried to. Everything was blurry. The massive shape emerging from the forest was unmistakable. Adult Kethvara. Probably the mother. This was it then. She'd die here, frozen and shredded, all for a creature that would have eaten her given the chance. But the mother didn't attack. The massive predator approached the makeshift shelter, sniffing at her cub. The young one chirped, a sound Leia hadn't heard before, something almost like relief. The mother's 6 eyes turned to Leia, and for a long moment predator and human stared at each other. Then the mother did something that would later baffle the xenobiologists when Leia reported it. She moved closer to Leia and lay down, positioning her massive body as a windbreak between the human and the worst of the storm. Her body heat radiated like a furnace. Leia was too cold, too exhausted to be surprised. She simply curled up tighter, accepting this strange mercy from an apex predator. When dawn broke, the storm had passed. Leia woke to find Morpheus kneeling beside her, his face a mixture of relief and disbelief. The rescue team had found her signal beacon. "Leia, thank God." He stopped, his eyes widening as he looked past her. The mother Kethvara was still there, watching. Her cub was nestled against her now, still under Leia's jacket. As the rescue team raised their weapons, Leia found her voice. Don't shoot. Slowly, painfully, she got to her feet. The mother watched as Leia approached, retrieved her jacket from beside the cub, and backed away. The predator picked up her cub gently in her massive jaws and disappeared into the forest. Morpheus stared at his sister. What just happened? Leia pulled on her jacket, still warm from the cub, and smiled through her exhaustion. I don't know. Maybe she understood. Or maybe... She looked at the forest where the Kethvara had vanished. Maybe mercy isn't just a human thing. Later, the colony's xenobiologists would note something unprecedented. Kethvara attacks on humans dropped by 70% in the following months. And sometimes late at night, colonists would report seeing a blue-furred form with 6 golden eyes watching the settlement from the tree line. Never threatening, just watching. They called it the Sentinel. But Leia knew better. Some deaths, it seemed, transcended species.